Continue. Prithvi, you can continue, Prithvi. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Can I start, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, Prithvi. Just go ahead.
Good evening to one and all present here. We, the Department of Business Administration, take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to Explorica 2020 on the topic of application of economics in business. The fear of the God is the beginning of wisdom, as it is said in Proverbs 9:10. Let us start this program with a prayer song, followed by Tamil Thai Valthu and college anthem.
Hello, Mrs. Radhika. Ma, Tamil Thai Valthu play ஆகலையே மா?
மேம் ப்ளே ஆகலையா மேம்?
பாட்டே கேட்கலையே.
பாட்டு கேட்கலையா மேம்? ஒரு செகண்ட். மேம் ப்ளே ஆகுது மேம்.
ப்ளே ஆகுது.
Karthik, can you mute your mic?
ராதிகா திரும்ப ஸ்டாப் ஆயிடுச்சுமா?
ஸ்டாப் ஆயிடுச்சா மேம்?
ஆமா, நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுங்கன்னா ரோஸ்லின் மேம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஹோஸ்டா கோ-ஹோஸ்டா போட்டு விடுங்க, so that அவங்க எல்லாரையும் அலோவ் பண்றதுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா இருக்கும்.
ஓகே மேம். ஓகே மேம்.
யா.
அவங்கள பண்ணிட்டேன் மேம்.
ஓகே, ப்ளே ஆகலப்பா, கொஞ்சம் கரெக்டா பண்ணுங்களேன்.
அந்த ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே.
My Gregorius, my Gregorius, my Gregorius, my Gregorius, my Gregorius, my Gregorius, and a heart. Out of educational excellence, imparting knowledge with exuberance. Grant to wisdom, Lord, the preeminence, filled with grace and benevolence. Let it shine, let it shine, the glory of God, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, the reign of my glorious shine. Let your light shine our aim, God ignite the spirit of victory proclaim. Bless our mentors with true inspiration, sculpture young minds to aspirations. My Gregorius, in you I take pride. Your light of knowledge in me is light. Strengthen my spirits to take a stride into thy values that I humbly abide. Let it shine, let it shine, the glory of God, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, the reign of my Gregorius shine, let it shine, the glory of God, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, the reign of my Gregorius shine.
Therefore, welcome one another as Christ has welcomed you for the glory of God, as it is said in Romans 15:7. Now I call upon Mr. D. Kalayarasan, head of the department, to welcome the gathering.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to all. Reverend Father Philip Pulipura, Secretary, Mar Gregorius College, Dr. M. Sivarajan, Principals of Mar Gregorius College, Mrs. K. Subhasini, Vice Principalship 2. The greeting to all on behalf of Mar Gregorius Colleges of Arts and Science students. Your presence make us very happy. Department of Business Administration Ship 2 to extend a sincere welcome to one and all for our department activity Explorica. I would like to extend a special welcome to our guest, Mr. P. Balakrishna, HOD, Department of Business Administration, Sindhi College of Arts and Science, Chennai 37. Our guest will be speaking on the topic of application of economic in business this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon V. Sendil Murugan to address the chief guest.
Good day to everyone. I, V. Sendil Murugan, Assistant Professor, BBA Shift 2 here to give a welcome speech on our Honorable Chief Guest. A warm welcome to Honorable Chief Guest P. Balakrishnan, MA MPhil, PhD. I want to offer my sincere thanks to our regarded Chief Guest who acknowledged our invitation to direct this conference for Exploria 2K20. Our college organizes conferences consistently for students to gain knowledge, associating them with various aspects of life. Our chief guest have more than 10 years experience in teaching, handling valuable core economic subjects like international economics, but for both UG and PG, and pursuing Doctor of Philosophy in Development Economics at University of Madras. Presently working in Department of Economics, Sindhi College, Chennai as Assistant Professor and Head. Our chief guest education qualification is BA Economics 2002 from Bishop Herbal College, MA Economics 2004 from Loyola College, MPhil 2006 from Center for Distance Education, Bharatdasan University. Also participated in various workshops, faculty development programs, and published research papers like Impact of Technology in Handloom Sector, a case study. Then performance of textile manufacturing industry in India during the global financial crisis. So I welcome our chief guest to enrich our knowledge on today's topic, application of economics in business. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Knowledge is an ocean, and search for it never ends. Let us hand over the session to the speaker of the day, Dr. P. Balakrishnan.
Very good evening to one and all present here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor V. Sendil Murugan, for introducing me. And thank you, Mr. D. Kalayarasan, a very good friend of mine for the past 10 years. He is giving a wonderful opportunity to me to speak about application of economics in business. And I thank you, the management. I thank the management, principal and vice principal in SIFT 2 and other faculty members of the BBA department and all our beloved students from first and second and third years. A very good evening. Now, start the session. I share the screen. Can you please tell me, able to see the screen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I'm
Sir, I can see
sharing.
the screen.
No.
Nothing, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, we are able to see the
Now you
screen.
can
Sir,
see
please
the screen.
continue, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Application of economics in business. In this session, I tell you about some important concepts which we are applied in business decision making or business practice. Now, before going to the topic, let me introduce the subject. What do you mean by economics, and how the economic concepts which apply in business decision making. Introduction to economics. Economics is a science now. It's both art and science. So usually now we are using as a science. Economics is a science which mainly deals with consumption, production, exchange, distribution, and one more thing added recently, public finance. These are all the terms used in business also. Consumption, the term we are using the business, okay, and production, exchange, market, price, then distribution, then public finance. These are all the concepts widely used in business. These are all the concepts taken from the economics. Okay, economics is a vast subject and have many branches, but we don't bother about other economic concepts. We are taken into account only what are the concepts relevant to the business to run a business successfully. Okay, for the purpose of running this business successfully, what are the important concepts which are available in economic subject? Okay, so that application of economic concepts, tools into the day-to-day business activities. Some important points to discuss before going to the topic. Economics starts with human wants. Okay. If you have, economics starts with human wants only, which are unlimited. So the starting point of economics is human wants. Third, human wants, there is no exception. The starting point is human wants. Whenever the human is in the world, the economic subject will continue. The economic activities will continue in every day. Yes, any disturbance? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Economics starts with human wants. Then wants are unlimited. Okay, a human being, the wants, what are the wants you need, you are having? I don't know. He listed out the 10, 20, 30, 50. Okay, at the same time. So there are a lot of wants each and every person have. So wants are unlimited in nature. It's the characteristics of human wants. Then economics is a social science which deals about the human behavior.
Sir?
Sir, okay. Connection problem, sorry.
Okay.
So I cannot able to share the screen. Host disabled participant screen sharing, please. Allow me to share the screen.
Okay, sir.
I'm not able to share the screen, please. Allow me. Host. Hello. Can you hear me? What I'm talking?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please allow me to share the screen. Host disabled.
Yes, sir. Radhika ma'am is doing that, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Right. Economics starts with human wants. Wants are unlimited in nature, but the resources are scarce, limited. Okay. How can we allocate the limited resources into unlimited wants? Okay. So it's called allocation of resources. This is the economic problem right now. Okay. So based on this only the economic analysis are going on. So the economic resources are limited, but the human wants are unlimited. We need to allocate the resources efficiently into human wants so that we go for alternative uses. There is no other options. Okay, we go for alternative uses. So economics is always choice. Okay. So if you are going to buy a product in a retail shop, you have a lot of choices. Okay. If you are going to buy a soap or paste, there are a lot of choices over there. So you can choose any one of the product, okay, according to your wish. So that economics is always choice. If you want to produce a product, if you want to start a business, you have a lot of choice over there. So based on the analysis and based on the investment, based on the consumer choice, then only the producer will choose the what type of business he is going to start, right? So economics is always choice, no doubt. So that it is taken for opportunity cost. Okay, technically it is called opportunity cost, alternative, next best alternative. Then important concept in economics is utility. Okay. Utility is the capacity, it's a want satisfying power of a commodity. Utility is the capacity to satisfy human wants or desire, right? So that utility based on the utility, Professor Alfred Marshall gave the detailed about the Gauss's first law and second law, law of diminishing marginal utility and the law of equimarginal utility and indifference curve analysis, right? So based on the utility approach, consumer behavior and demand. What do you mean by demand, and what's the difference between human wants and demand? Okay. Human wants are unlimited, but demand is not unlimited. So demand here, we used the economic concept. Demand, after fulfillment of the wants of a person, it is called as demand. Okay. So fulfillment of the satisfaction, right? Satisfied wants only called as demand. If the want is not satisfied, it is not converted into a demand, it is only a want. So there is a difference between wants and demand in economics, right? And fulfill the three conditions of ability to pay, willingness to buy, and backed by purchasing power. If three conditions are fulfilled, then only human wants become a demand. Otherwise, it is only a human want, right? So demand is an important concept which we are using in business practice, in day-to-day business activities. So later we discuss one by one. Next, branches of economics. What are the main branches? Here mainly there are two branches we are taken into account. One is micro and another one is macroeconomics. Microeconomics we followed from Adam Smith onwards. So we have taken the economic thought before the Adam Smith period also, Hebrew economic thought, Greek economic thought, right? Physiocracy, mercantilism, and Kautilya's Arthasastra, Thiruvalluvar's Thirukkural. So lot of economic thoughts, ideas we are taken from the ancient periods also. But Adam Smith is the first person who distinguished the economics from politics. Then only he is called as father of economics, right? So from Adam Smith onwards, from Adam Smith to 1930, okay, in the year 1776 to 1930, we are using only the microeconomic concepts, okay, right? Microeconomics. So microeconomics was ruled out in the year 1930s because of we were faced the Great Depression in the year 1930 to 30s. So Ragnar Fridge, a new economist, came into existence and introduced a new concept. It is called macroeconomics, right? So macroeconomics deals with the aggregate aspect, whereas microeconomics deals with the individual aspects. Individual aspects, which means we are studying about the individual person income, individual person consumption, savings, individual firm's input, output, price, right? Then profit analysis. These are all the important concepts which we are taken from the microeconomics. Whereas in the case of macroeconomics, it deals with the aggregate aspects. Everything is total, right? We are studying the national income instead of the individual person income, national income accounting. So every year and every country in the world calculating the national income. Okay, based on the national income accounting, we are determining the economic growth and economic development and GDP percentage. Everything is calculated based on the national income accounting. And another concept, taxation policy, aggregate savings. Here we are not taken into account the individual person saving. We are taken into account the aggregate saving, total savings of a country, total consumption of a country, total investment of a country, whether it's a government investment or private investment, right? Both. These are all the macroeconomics. So economics is mainly two branches, micro and macroeconomics. Now the managerial economics or business economics also a branch of economics. It's not a part of economics. It's a branch of economics. Where what is a speciality of the business economics or managerial economics? Here we are taken into account microeconomic concepts as well as macroeconomic concepts applied into the day-to-day business activities, so that it is a separate branch by itself, right? So managerial practice in day-to-day business activities, wherever is applicable, the economic concepts we are applying to take the right decision regarding inputs, regarding price, regarding supply, regarding cost, revenue, profit, investment, everything in the business we are taken from the economic concepts, micro and macroeconomics. Now we move on to the managerial economics. We ruled out the micro and macroeconomics, we have taken into account the business economics or managerial economics. What do you mean by managerial economics? So the second and third years already studied in your first year managerial economics is an allied paper, but the first year students new to the subject managerial economics. What do you mean by managerial economics? Here the managerial economics is the integration of economic theory. It's integrate. So economics separate one and the business practice is a separate one. So managerial economics integrate the both things into one point. Okay, this is called managerial economics. Managerial economics is the integration of economic theory with day-to-day business practice. What's the purpose? For the purpose of facilitating decision making in day-to-day business. In day-to-day business activities, the businessman wants to take a right decision. Okay, facilitating decision making and forward planning by management. Why business is risk? Why business is risk? Because business is always faced with the future. Okay, future is unpredictable one. Future is uncertain. So if the future is uncertain, that is the reason why business is risk. Okay, we don't know about what happens after 1 year or after 1 month, after 2 months. Okay, so in the last year we did not predict about the COVID-19, right? So future is uncertain. So many of the business are lack because of the lockdown, right? So future is uncertain, future is unpredictable. That's the reason why business is risk, right? So that the businessman takes risk, entrepreneur takes risk. Reason without risk, anyone cannot do any business, right? So business is risk. So that managerial economics is the integration of economic theory with business practice for the purpose of facilitate decision making for and forward planning by management. The one more definition, managerial economics is applied in decision making. Okay, so microeconomics is not applied in business. Macroeconomics alone is not applied in business, but the managerial economics is applied. So managerial economics is both micro and macro, but microeconomics alone, I'm talking about microeconomics alone, is not applied in business. Macroeconomics alone, it is not applied in business. So managerial economics integrate both, right? Both micro and macro concepts into day-to-day business. So it is a special branch of economics bridging the gap between abstract economic theory and managerial practice. So abstract economic theory is separate one and managerial practice, day-to-day business activity is separate one. And we...
Deepak, can you mute your mic?
Somebody is talking. Okay, right. So bridging the gap between the abstract economic theory and managerial practice. So managerial practice and business practice is separate one, economics separate one. So the both things are integrated by managerial economics. Okay, right. Then characteristics of managerial economics. What are the characteristics? So characteristics of microeconomics is different one. Characteristics of macroeconomics different one. So what are the characteristics or features of managerial economics or business economics? It is a pragmatic and realistic in nature. Microeconomics is not a realistic, it's a theoretical background, theoretical one. And the macroeconomics also theoretical one. But the managerial economics is practical, realistic, because these are all the concepts we are applied into day-to-day business activities and we are derived the result. Okay. Right? So it's a pragmatic and realistic in nature. Secondly, microeconomics in character, because microeconomics character, why? So microeconomic concepts like demand, elasticity of demand, price, and how to determine the price under different market conditions, whether it's a perfect competition or imperfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, or revenue, right? And then cost, revenue, profit, investment. So we study about the individual aspect. Yeah, business is an individual unit. A firm is an individual unit, so that we applied more microeconomic concepts into the business. Right? So microeconomics in character, managerial economics is microeconomics in character. And thirdly, it's also macroeconomics in character. What are the macroeconomic concepts which we are applied into the business? The macroeconomic concepts like taxation, new taxation policy introduced by a government. So each and every business applies the taxation. Okay, what type of tax is introduced by government? So it's applicable to all type of business, right? So each and every businessman should know about the taxation policy. The taxation policy, they are taken from the macroeconomics. And then business cycle, right? Business cycle and national income accounting, GDP growth rate, right? These are all the macroeconomic concepts each and every businessman should know about. These macroeconomic concepts to run a business successfully, right? In day-to-day life, day-to-day. Macroeconomics in character. And the fourth one, normative rather than positive in character. There are two types of concepts, methods used in economics. One is positive method or positive economics, and another one is normative methods or normative economics. Okay, normative method, positive method. So economics is mostly positive in character, but managerial economics is normative. What is normative? The positive is we are analyzing what it is, how the problem is works. That's all. It's a positive. But normative, we add one more thing is value added, value thing. Okay, what ought to be produced, right? Normative in character, value judgment, right? Say for example, positive and normative. Positive in character, suppose smoking cigarette. Okay, we are going to analyze about the smoking cigarette, and the effect is how many persons affected by cancer, lung cancer. So we are going to study about this. It's about the positive. How we analyze the positive in character, like we are taken the 1000 sample, out of which more than 50% of the persons affected the lung cancer. This is the thesis. We are analyzed. This is about the positive in character. Okay. Normative in character, whether the product is right to the society or not. Okay. Right. So any person can do any type of business, no doubt. But the product is giving welfare to the individual person, at the same time give welfare to the society, right? It's called normative. So managerial economics talks about mostly normative character rather than positive character, right? Next one, separate branch of economics. So micro, macro is a separate branch of economics. Okay, branches of economics. In this way, here the managerial economics also included into the branch of economics, right? Next one, conceptual and metrical in nature. Okay, economics is only theoretical background concept. Only economics provides concepts, but managerial economics concept and their application metrical. So theory as well as measurement. Okay, we are applied, so that managerial economics is a science. We are applied into the day-to-day business and we are getting the result out of this, from this, right? So economics is only concepts, and managerial economics both conceptual and metrical in nature, theory and measurement. The next one, goal-oriented. Managerial economics is goal-oriented, but economics is not type of this. So it's a business. If a person start a business, the ultimate aim is to increase their profit. Okay. So goal-oriented subject. Which one? Managerial economics. Next one, application-oriented. It's a mostly application, practical oriented. Okay. These are all the characteristics or nature or features of managerial economics. Next we move on to the application of some important economic concepts in business practice. Okay. Some of the important concepts only we discussed, right? Important concepts, right? So it's a numerical, in the numerical problems, when you are going to for the higher studies, PG level, you are using the, you are studying the managerial economics. When you are going to MCOM level or MBA level, it's an application oriented more than now. It's derived from the numerical problems also, each and every concepts. Okay. I tell about only the theoretical background and the application. Okay, where we are going to apply, and I give the only theoretical base, not the numerical base. Okay. The first important concept is demand. Okay. In the case of microeconomics, one of the classical economists, J.B. Say, Jean-Baptiste Say, one of the classical economists, his definition is very, very popular in economics, in the law of market. Okay. Supply creates its own demand. Okay. During that period, supply creates its own demand. When the producer produces the product and offer the product to the market, it will create the demand automatically. Okay, right? This is a concept which we are used during the classical period. What happened? What happened? Please share the screen. Okay, I share the screen. Able to see my
Yes,
screen?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to see, sir.
Okay. Okay, demand analysis. Okay, before we are using the demand analysis during the classical period of economics, J.B. Say's law of market says about the supply creates its own demand. The first analysis is supply, but right now we are using the word demand. Right now, the demand is the first analysis, but during the classical period, supply is the first analysis. Supply creates its own demand. Now, supply does not create its own demand. Based on the demand only, we are giving the supply. We are offering the supply. Right. So that first analysis in business, before you start the business, you should analyze about the demand. Okay. Without clear analysis about the demand, the person not able to start a business. If it is possible, it will not give the profitable. So demand is the first for most analysis in business. And it's essential for the creation, survival, and profitability of a business. Demand creation, right? Demand is essential for the creation of a business. A new product comes to the market. Okay, if you are going for a supermarket, the new product arrives. You are able to see the product in the supermarket, which means the product has demand. Suppose unless the product has the demand, it will not come to the shop. So based on the demand only, the product is available. So the creation of business is done by demand. Demand is the only concept creating the business. And survival of the business. Suppose your business, suppose your business functions last 50 years, which means last 50 years the product has demand. Okay. If the people are not able to buy the product, if they're not willing to buy the product, definitely the business will close down, shut down. Okay. So the business runs after 20 years, after 30 years, which means the demand is very, very essential. Demand creation is very essential, right? So that demand is essential for the creation and survival and profitability of a business, whether it's a new business or the existing business, whatever the type of business, whether it's a small business, medium level or large scale business, the demand is very, very essential. Without the demand analysis, the businessman not go for the next year, next analysis. right? Right. First demand analysis, at the first analyze about the demand, then only he fix the how much unit we are going to produce. The businessman going to produce, so he should take the decision, right? So that in demand analysis, the important concepts, the demand function. Demand is a function of price of the commodity, no doubt, price of the commodity and availability of substitutes. Next one, income of the consumer, taste and preference of the consumer, right? Wealth of the consumer. So demand is a function of, demand depends upon the price. When the price increases, demand decreases. It's a ceteris paribus assumption given by Professor Alfred Marshall. It is about the law of demand. Okay. Other things being an equal, when price increases, demand decreases and vice versa, right? So demand function and the law of demand. Law of demand, we are taken into account only the price, other things remaining the same, or other things being an equal. It is called ceteris paribus assumption. And elasticity of demand. Then types of demand, price demand, income demand, cross demand. Okay, price demand, the demand is depends upon the price, and demand depends upon the income of the consumer. Demand depends upon the availability of substitutes and a complementary product in the market. Okay, it's a types of demand. So in the types of demand, we are giving much importance to the price, because price is the most influential factor to determine the demand. Now the elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand, the same types of demand we are going to apply. The price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and the cross elasticity of demand. And then one more thing, advertising elasticity of demand. In the case of elasticity of demand, what's the difference between law of demand and elasticity of demand? Law of demand says about only when price increases and demand decreases and vice versa, but not explained by how much, right? Sometimes price increases, demand does not increase, demand does not respond. Okay, demand does not respond to the price always. Some other factors will influence the demand out of the price, right? So that the elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of the degree of the responsiveness of the demand in order to change in price, right? And then income, and then availability of substitutes. So the base is quantity demanded is influenced by price. We are taken the price, which is called the price elasticity of demand. Suppose we are taken the income, it is called the income elasticity of demand. Suppose we are taking the availability of substitutes in the market, it is called the cross elasticity of demand. Suppose the taste and preference influence the demand, it is called advertising elasticity of demand. And one more thing, in managerial economics, in business economics, we are focused demand forecasting. It is not the subject, the topic covered in microeconomics. So demand forecasting is a special topic for only managerial economics or business economics. What is forecasting? The forecasting refers to the predictive future demand. Demand forecasting means we are predicting the future demand. Okay. After 1 month, what's the demand of the product? Now we forecast. Based on the demand forecast only, we are purchasing the inputs and we are using the labor machines to produce the product and to fix the price and offer the sale to the market. So based on the demand forecasting, suppose we forecast the demand. Suppose 1,000 units of a particular product demand is available to the next month, which means we start the production right now. We start to produce right now. So then only after 1 month, the product reach the market, reach the ultimate user. So the demand forecasting. Suppose the forecast is failure, it will give the loss to the business, right? Without demand forecasting, suppose we are doing the business, what will happen? What will happen? Here, when this demand is greater than supply, or supply is greater than demand. There's an disequilibrium among the demand and the supply. What will happen? It will give the loss to the business. Both are loss. So the businessman should equalize the demand and supply. Then only he run the business successfully. Right? Demand equals supply. Right? Otherwise it will give overproduction or underproduction. Suppose demand is greater than supply. It is called underproduction. So demand is 1,000 persons are ready to buy the product next month, but we are producing only the 500 units. It is called underproduction. So demand is greater than supply. It will give loss to the business. Suppose we are producing more, 1,000 units of a particular commodity, but the demand is only 500 persons are by buying this product, which means overproduction, right? So we are unable to analyze the demand. Without analyzing the demand, we are producing more. It is called overproduction. So whether it is overproduction or underproduction, both creates loss to the business. So the demand forecasting is very, very important concept in business. In the demand forecasting, there are types of demand forecasting: short run and long run also. Short run demand forecasting. So every month or every week, based on the product, the businessman should forecast the demand, right? And the long period also, he continuously forecasting the demand. And what are the methods? There are two methods. One is survey method and statistical methods we are using. In the methods we are using with the help of the mathematical analysis. So mathematical and statistical analysis also applied into the business with using the concept of economics. Okay, so we are taken the economic concepts and we are applying the mathematical and statistical application, and then we are applying into the business. Okay, right? Then ceteris paribus assumption is another things being unequal. Objectives of demand forecasting. So formulating production policy. So how much we purchase the input. Okay, suppose we are purchasing more input, means it's a stock. Okay, overstock, right? So based on the output only we are purchasing the input. If it is available to the market, or if it is available, we are purchasing only based on the supply, right? Supply, we are purchasing the inputs. Otherwise, it will create more expenditure, cost, right? So to formulate a suitable production policy, we need to forecast the demand. Secondly, formulating price policy. Okay. So important task to the businessman is to determine the right price, so that he analyze about the market condition, whether it's a monopoly market, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, duopoly. So what type of market and what type of product we are producing, and what type of market prevails in the day-to-day life. Based on the competitors, based on the product, we fix the price. Suppose we are fixing the high price than the market product, than the competitors, definitely the new product will not prefer by the users. Okay. Suppose we are fixing the low price against the competitors in the market, it will give the loss to the business. It is not covered under the cost. Suppose the cost of production is high, means it will give the loss. So to formulate a suitable price policy for a businessman, okay, to formulate a suitable price policy, the businessman should analyze about the demand forecast. Okay, right? Next one, controlling sales. Okay. Based on the demand only, he offer the product into the market. This is called supply. Supply means the product offered to the market after determining the price. So controlling sales. Next one, arranging finance. Okay. Based on the finance only, we are the businessman doing the business. So based on the finance, he forecast the demand, and based on the forecasting demand, he start the production. he purchased the inputs and other raw materials. Next analysis, production. Production means, in economics is a different concept. Production means creation of utility. Not the production means inputs are converted into output. This is production function. What do you mean by production? Production means creation of utility. So to create more demand in the market, more consumers, then we purchase the input and we transfer into output, and it will sell in the market automatically. That's not a problem. But this, when we are selling the product, we create the utility, right? The consumer, we are creating the consumers. That's the main important thing in economics. So production means creation of utility for sales. And production function, inputs are transferred into output. This is called production function. Okay, Q is a function of labor, capital, and other raw materials. What are the inputs we are applying into the business, applying to the production, and we are getting the output unit. This is called the production function. This is under two types. Under production function, there are two types. One is short-run production function, long-run production function. In the short run, only one variable is only one factor is variable, keeping other factors are constant, right? Because the period is short. Okay. In the short run, the businessman not able to change all the factors of production. All the factors of production. The production factors are land, labor, capital, and organization. Here, land is a fixed factor during the short run. Capital is fixed factor, right? Entrepreneurship is a fixed factor. Only the labor is variable factor in the short run. Okay, right? So when we increase the number of labors, what happens in the output? Output, whether it is increasing or constant or diminishing, right? Or negative. Okay, we should analyze. Then long run production function. During the long period, the businessman can able to change all the factors of production simultaneously. When all factors of production changes, what happens in the output? What happens in the return? Whether it is an increasing return or constant return or diminishing return, we should analyze. Based on this analysis, only we do the business. Right. Next, economies of scale and diseconomies of scale. Economies of scale, which means advantages, diseconomies or disadvantages. What is a scale? The scale, which means we are giving the what input level we are giving to the production, and what the scale we are getting the output. Okay, whether it is an advantage. Advantage means minimum input, maximum output. Diseconomy, so we give a lot of input resources, but the output is decreasing. Okay, it's a disadvantages. Next one, production forecasting. Every demand forecasting. Here we study about the production forecasting. Okay, and then supply function. Supply, which means offered, the product is offered for sale at a given price. This is called supply. And supply function. Supply is a function of price, mainly price. Okay, supply is a function of price. Demand also is a function of price. So demand as well as supply, both are highly influenced by price. Okay, this is called law of supply. Law of demand, so based on your law of supply, and elasticity of supply also. So elasticity of demand, the same thing we apply into the elasticity of supply. It's a greater than 1, less than 1, equal to 1, and an infinity 0. Okay, when the price changes, the supply does not change. It is called 0. Elasticity of supply 0. That means the supply does not influenced by price, right? Not depends upon the price. Same thing in the demand also. So even though the most influential factor is price, so that we are taken much importance to the price elasticity of demand and price elasticity of supply. It's about the production analysis. So demand analysis, the next analysis, the businessman do the production analysis. After production analysis, what type of input we need and what the level of output we produce. Okay, it's about the production analysis. So after analyzing the production, the businessman move on to the cost. Okay, right? So the availability of inputs, the requirement of inputs, what are the cost? Cost means expenditure incurred for producing a product. Okay, incurred by a businessman for producing a product or commodity is called cost. Cost means expenditure, right? Here the cost function. Cost is a function of output. Okay, right? So we are purchasing the input and we are estimating the cost. What's the expenditure of the expenditure for purchasing the input? It's called cost or expenditure. And the cost is function of output and what level of output we get. Okay, the businessman get, right? So we function about the cost and output is called a cost function. Cost classification, there are more number of classifications over there. Cost analysis. Okay, cost classifications, mainly the concepts we are taken, the explicit cost, implicit cost, real cost, money cost, short run cost, long run cost, variable cost, right? These are all the different concepts which we are applied into the business also, right? So cost classification and types of cost, then total cost. Okay, what do you mean by total cost? Suppose, say for example, a businessman producing the 1,000 units, 1,000 units in a week. 1 week, the producer produce the 1,000 units of a particular product, right? What's the total cost? We taken into first total cost. What are the total costs? We are purchasing the inputs. What are the inputs? Raw materials and paying the wage, salary, right? And the fuel expenditure, electricity. So these are all the expenditures incurred in the business. So all the costs are totaling. Okay, we get total cost. Total cost means all the costs in a week. Okay, per week, 1,000 units is a target, 1,000 units produced by a businessman. Then all the costs, what are the costs incurred into this business, we are totaling. So we take total cost. Then average cost. Average cost, total cost, say for example, total cost 1,000 units, we are taken 10,000. Okay, 10,000. So total cost, so now average cost, which is equal to total cost divided by Q, output. Right. Now the total cost is 10,000. Then divided by number of units, 1,000. Now the average cost is 10. Right. So 1 unit cost, per unit cost is 10 rupees. They are taken. So to average cost. Then marginal cost. Marginal, which means additional. Additional cost incurred by a businessman, incurred into the business. What's the additional cost? Suppose next week the demand is increased, so that the producer wants to increase the number of units. Say for example, instead of producing 1,000 units in the last week, this week he maybe produced 1,200 units. Now the 200 units is additionally produced by a producer, which is called marginal unit. Now the 1,200 units taken the total cost of 12,000 or 13,000. 13,000 we are taken. 13,000 is now the new total cost. Okay, so new total cost is 13,000 and the new total units is 1,200. Right. So additionally 200 units we are producing. Additionally 3,000 rupees spent more in this week due to increased demand. Right. This is about the marginal cost. Next one, fixed cost. Some costs are fixed into the business. Say for example, rent. Suppose the businessman taken the building for lease or rent. He may be paying the rent every month, whether he is producing or not. Suppose the building is closed for a month, he may be pay the rent. Right? This is called fixed cost. Always fixed. Whether we are producing the product or not. the cost is fixed. Next one, variable cost. When the production starts, the cost increases. When the production stops, cost is zero, right? So the variable cost increases according to the output increases. Okay, correspondingly output increases. It's called a variable cost. So variable means keep changing. So variable cost. So total cost, how we can calculate the total cost? Total cost, which is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So we are classified into some costs are fixed, some costs are variable. So we add all the costs, we get total cost. Then average cost. Average cost is equal to total cost divided by Q, or we may be calculated average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Then average fixed cost we have taken from total fixed cost divided by Q, average variable cost which is equal to total variable cost divided by Q. So now we add average fixed cost plus average variable cost, we get average cost, right? Next, marginal cost formula.
Sir? Sir? Sir?
So due to technical reason, the screen is stopped. Now I share the screen. No problem. Okay. Right. Marginal cost, which is equal to total cost n minus total cost n minus 1. Say, for example, last week total cost is a total cost n minus total cost n1.
Sir, your screen
This
is
week,
not
sorry,
visible.
the
Sir.
total cost. But I shared, madam. I got the notification is you are sharing screen sharing. Just. Ipo, ma'am, share.
No, sir, it's still buffering.
Some network problem. Sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Just a minute. Now it's visible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now, so after marginal cost, so after the cost analysis, the businessman should analyze about the price. So very important task and a very difficult task to the business is price analysis. Up to this point, cost analysis, there is no huge problem the businessman faces. Now the price analysis only he faces a difficult task. So in order to fix the price, it will give the profit and run the business. Okay.
Sir, sorry for the interruption.
Yes,
Your screen is not visible, sir.
Now, ma'am?
No, sir, it's still buffering.
Somebody else should share if it is possible.
Can I share, sir?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Before slide. Price analysis. Okay. After analyze about the cost, the businessman should analyze about the price. It's a difficult task to the business also. Price determination is a difficult task to the businessman. Under different market conditions. Based on the market conditions only, he fixed the price. Suppose he fixed the high price, he compete more in the market. It may be possible to decrease the sales. Suppose he fixed the lowest price against the competitor in the market, it will give the loss to the business, and it is not affordable to the cost. So price making decision is very important thing, and it is a difficult task to every business. So price determination under different market forms. That's a monopoly market, is a single price, single seller. So it is not in the real market situation, monopoly and perfect competition. Suppose the market may be a monopolistic competition or oligopoly market or duopoly market. Based on the competitors compete in the market, the businessman fix the price. So the businessman should analyze about the competitors also. Not only concentrate his business alone. He concentrate to the competitors. What type of product and what type of competitive product available in the market, and how they fix the price, and how they analyze the demand, and how much consumers they captured in this slide. So price determination is very important thing in business, right? So based on the market condition, only market. So the businessman should analyze the market. Based on the market only, he fixes the price, right? It's based on the business, it differs. Next one, after price analysis, the businessman should analyze about the revenue. Okay. After fixing the price, the commodity offered for sale into the market, then only the revenue will come. Okay. Till now, okay, the business revenue is zero. Okay. Only cost occurred. Okay. Right. So revenue is zero. Then after selling the product into the market, the revenue will come, will arise. Right. So revenue analysis. In the case of revenue analysis, we analyze about the total revenue, average revenue, and marginal revenues. Okay. Here the total revenue which is equal to price into quantity. Okay. What price we fixed and how much quantity we sold in the market, right? We multiply, we get total revenue. Okay. The total revenue we calculate per week or per month or quarterly, annually, okay, based on the convenience of the business. So total revenue and average revenue. Average revenue is nothing but price. Okay, what price you fixed, this is called average revenue also, right? So total revenue divided by quantity, we get average revenue. Average revenue is called nothing but price. And then marginal revenue, suppose our marginal cost, okay, already we discussed about the cost analysis. Marginal cost, here marginal output, additional output, suppose in order to increase the demand in the market, we need to increase the number of units in the production. So we get additional cost. During the additional cost, it will give the additional revenue also. Okay, when the businessman produce additional units, it takes additional cost, and after selling the product into the market, it will give additional revenue also. This is called marginal revenue. Marginal revenue also same here, total revenue n minus total revenue n minus 1. We get the marginal revenue for a week or per month or quarterly. So based on the business decision. Okay, we calculate the marginal revenue. After the revenue analysis, the businessman go for the profit analysis. Okay, when the profit analysis, before we get the break-even point, when the total cost, when the businessman start the business with the cost, the investment also we are taken into the cost. Suppose a businessman invest initial investment is 10 lakhs rupees. it takes into account as a cost. We take into account as a cost. When the business reaches the 10 lakhs rupees, it may be after 2 years, after 3 years, after 5 years, based on the business. After reaching the 10 lakhs revenue, then only we calculate the profit. Then only we get the profit. The businessman gets profit. Okay. After until the revenue reaches the 10 lakhs rupees, we get the cost is greater than revenue. Right? Cost is greater than revenue, which means loss. Right? At the break-even point, when the total cost equal to total revenue. Okay, the revenue equals the cost, the break-even point. After the break-even point, we get the total revenue exceeds total cost, then only we get the profit. Okay, so the profit margin is a separate formula over there in the profit analysis. And the theories of profit, many economists contributed many theories to the profit. Okay, so the profit, the term is differ from different person. Suppose a building owner offer the building for the rent. So he collects every month rent. The rent is called profit. Okay, right? Suppose an individual person deposited 10 lakhs rupees into the bank account. He gets the interest. The interest is called profit, profit of the person. Okay, so profit, the term we used in different dimensions. Sorry, please share this.
One second, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, theories of profit and break-even analysis. So after profit analysis, the businessman go for investment analysis. Okay, after getting the profit is, suppose profit is high level. So again, the profit amount invested into the business. Okay, right? So some of the big business, the Tata and Reliance Industries, they are finding about the new sector to invest, because they are getting more profit, high level of profit they are getting every year. So they are confused what type of business should invest in the next year. So this is a separate analysis is going there, right? So investment analysis, marginal rate of return method, payback period method, some of the capital budgeting. It's called capital budgeting. Capital budgeting methods over there. So I cannot explain numerically. So I tell about the only theoretical background. So marginal rate of return method and the payback period method. This is the investment analysis. Next, we move on to the uses and the importance of economics in business. Okay. Uses and the importance of economics. What are the importance of economic concepts into the business? So where we are going to apply the economic concept into the business, taking the decision. So where we are getting the input, where we are purchasing the input, right? And what level of output we produce, and how much price to fix, right? And then how much profit will earn in the future. So these are all the important decisions taken by the businessman. So in order to take the right decision, the businessman should apply the economic concepts only. Without economic concepts, he cannot take the right decision into the business. Regarding what are the decisions? Regarding product mix. What do you call the product mix? As a BBA students, you know about the product mix. Okay. Very well about product mix, input mix, and then production technique. What type of production techniques we apply? The production techniques are we apply whether we are using the labor or machinery. Okay, which is cheapest one. So the businessman should analyze and should choose, take the right decision, right? Right, production techniques, level of output, okay, right? Suppose level of output, suppose input is a high level of input has the businessman, which means he produce more output. No, based on the demand only he produce the output, right? So the level of output should know the businessman. He should know about the level of output. He control the output. When the demand increases, he increase the output. Whether demand decreases, he decrease the output. So the level of output decision, okay, taken by the businessman and taken the concept from the economics and the price, investment, etc. helps to identifying, analyzing business problem and finding out solutions. Okay. Identifying the problem. Suppose demand decreases as compared to last month. Okay. The businessman should identify where is the lacking. Okay. Whether it's a sales or quality or price or any other new competitors will come to the market. So where is the lacking? Okay. Suppose sales down. Suppose the revenue is down, going down. So the businessman should identify the problem. Okay. First identify the problem. So when the businessman identifying the problem, the economic concepts helps. Okay. And then analyzing the problem. Suppose sales representative performance is decreased. It's identified. So analyze. How can we motivate the sales representatives to reach the target level? Or any new product will come to the market. The demand of the competitive product. So we should analyze, and we find out the solution. What's the solution? So identifying the problem, analyzing the problem, and finding out the solution to the business economic concepts helps. Right. Next one, predict future business. Future business. Business is always future, not the present. Okay, that's the reason why business is risk. Right. Always thinks about the future. Future, what's the demand? In future, what's the supply we are going to offer? The businessman should offer. In future, what are new competitors will come to the market if it is possible? So always think about the future. That is the reason why business is risk. So predict the future, but economics is not predict the future. But economic concepts we are applying to the business to predict the future, so that managerial economics is more important than economics, right? Nowadays. Next, traditional economic concepts into application. Just move on to the screen. Please, ma'am, please move on to the screen into the visibly. I'm not able to okay. Now it's okay. Right, traditional economic concepts into actual business practice and business environment. Okay. Traditional economic concepts. These are all the traditional economic concepts. Demand, supply. It's not a new concepts. It's a 2000-year-old concepts. Demand, supply, all the traditional concepts. Before Adam Smith period also, the economists used the concepts. Right. So traditional economic concepts into a day-to-day business activities. Right, business environment. So it is an importance of the business economics. Right. Estimates the relationship between business factors. Okay. We are estimating the relationship, business factors and economic factors. We are estimating and relating. Right. The next, move on to role of a managerial economist in business. Managerial economist. Suppose a businessman know about the economics, it's not a problem. Suppose many of the businessmen not able to do the business, not able to know the economic concepts. Suppose in this situation, the businessman appoints an economist into the business. It's a multi-level business or a large-scale business. Say, for example, Reliance Industries, Tata Industries. Many of the large-scale industries, the businessman or the owner of the or the managing director appoints a new post is called managerial economist. What are the role and functions, duties and responsibilities of a managerial economist doing in the business? He acts as an economic advisor. The first and foremost role of an economist is advisor to the businessman. Okay. What are the what type of advising he gives? Okay, where we are purchasing the input and what level, and how to fix the price, and he forecasting the demand always. He forecasting the sales and price, analyzing about the price. These are all the advice. And what are the decisions taken during this situation? So these are the advice given to the businessman. So act as a economic advisor is the first role. Second one, apply specialized skills and modern techniques. Only economists should know the specialized skills in business, specialized skills in economic concepts to apply into the business, and modern techniques also. Next, collection of data. So demand forecasting. So how to forecast the demand? He may collect the data and analyze the data and interpret the data and getting the result and taking the result. Based on the result only he start the output. He gives advice to the businessman to start the output. So collection of data, analyzing the data, interpretation of data, it's a duty of managerial economist. Right? Identify the goal of the business. What's the goal of the business? The goal of the business may differ according to the business. So some of the business goal is sales maximization. Already you studied Weber sales maximization model in managerial economics, right? Baumol, William J. Baumol gives sales maximization. In order to get profit maximization, he gives idea about the sales maximization. In the long period, it will give the more profit. So each and every business has goals, different goal. So based on the goal, this economist should know about the goal. What's the goal of the business? Next one, decision making. So all the decisions are taken only by managerial economists based on the statistical analysis. Okay, so economic concepts applied into the business with the help of mathematical and statistical techniques. Otherwise, we are not able to apply directly. Okay, with the help of mathematical and statistical techniques, only economic concepts applied. So that these are different subjects, mathematical economics and statistical economics over there. So decision making based on the analysis, proper analysis. Next one, systematic. What happened?
Sir, Radhika ma'am has left the meeting. You can just continue, sir.
Okay, okay, madam. Okay, systematic appraisal of product designing. So the managerial economist should analyze a systematic appraisal of product designing, improvement and planning. Okay, planning, product improvement and consumers' income, taste and preference. Right? So market target of the consumers. And then market estimation. Okay, market estimation. And then forecasting, demand forecasting, supply forecasting, right? And then price forecasting, profit forecasting. All the concepts, the businessman or the economist forecast. And then investment decisions. Okay. Okay. Almost we reached the end of the part.
Ma'am, can you mute?
Sir, can you hear me? Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, sir. Some technical problem, sir. Okay, sir. But now I
Okay, okay, okay,
can see.
okay, 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 ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Ah,
sir.
right. So conclusion. To conclude that today's session, that economics helps a lot to run a business successfully, whether it's a small level or medium level or large scale level of business. Economics helps, economic concepts, tools, theories helps to run a business successfully. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a valuable and informative session. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs out from the soul. Let us now call upon Grace James to give the word of thanks.
A pleasant good evening to all. Gratitude is the greatest of all virtue. It's my privilege to propose the word of thanks. Let me first of all start by giving glory to Almighty God for making today's occasion success. My heart filled with lot of gratitude for our chief guest, Professor B. Balakrishnan, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Sindhi College of Arts and Science, for not only sparing his valuable time with us to grace this occasion, but also enlightening us with commendable talk on the subject. I express my deep gratitude to our Secretary, Reverend Father Philip Pulipura, for his blessing and constant prayer. I warm special gratitude to our principal, Dr. M. Sivarajan, for leading and inspiring us. I extend my sincere thanks to our Vice Principal, Ms. Anne Epsiba Niraja and Ms. Subhashini for their constant support. I would like to thank our beloved HOD, Mr. D. Kalayarasan, who is always a source of motivation. I'm running short of my words to express my humble thanks to our staff members for enriching this webinar with their valuable support. I'm grateful to Ms. Ratika for the technical support in connecting this webinar. I would be failing my duty if I do not express my heartfelt gratitude to all the student volunteers and my friends for your cooperation in making Explorica 2020 a grand success. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, Grace. As we reach the end of this program, I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
If you have any queries, doubts, if you have any doubt, you ask.
So there's no queries, it seems, sir. We'll wind up
Okay.
the session.
Okay, okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Radhika ma'am. ராதிகா மேம் மீட்டிங் எண்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் மேம்.
ஓகே மேம். மேம் ஹலோ மேம்.
சொல்லுங்க மேம்.
இல்ல சார் கலையரசன் சார்
அவருக்கு நெட்வொர்க் இல்லன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் மேம். யா போயிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருந்தாங்க.
ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே மேம்.